Welcome back to Business RadioX Pro Tips. Lee Kantor, Stone Payton here with you. Lee, today let's talk a little bit about content strategy.
Yeah, we're fortunate to have at our disposal a means and methodology to create as much content as we want on demand, just like we're doing right now with this Pro Tips. But when you're thinking about creating content for your client or for yourself, just understand that there's kind of 4 parts to a customer journey that you should be creating content around. The first part is going from unknown to known in the minds of your prospects. So the vast majority of the planet don't know you exist. Even if you're the most famous person on the planet, the vast majority of the planet Earth don't know they exist. And that goes even more so for small to mid-sized business owners. So your first bit of content has to be a way to introduce yourself to people who don't know you exist. So that's number one. The second bit of information is you got to move a person that is now just kind of superficially knows about you, like call them an acquaintance, and move them to somebody that knows a little bit more about you. They've heard about you and they kind of know what your superpower is, and let's call that a friend. So number 1 is going from unknown to known. Number 2 is going from acquaintance to friend. And then the third bit of content you should be creating is to move somebody from a friend, so they know what your superpower is, to them actually buying something from you. So now they're going from a friend to a client. And that content is different, obviously, than the other 2 chunks of content. And then once a person is a client, then you got to move them to being a client referrer, where they feel so much goodwill about your relationship that they're happily telling other people in their network about you and recommending you as a service provider to them. So that's another chunk of content that you have to create. So if you think about those 4 buckets of content, then you know that you have to kind of customize educational, entertaining, informational content in each of those buckets to move people through that 4-step content strategy funnel. So if you kind of look at it this way, it makes it easier to create content for you, because you know that your content has to land in one of those buckets. So just invest some time in creating content for each of those buckets, and you will find that you're much more successful when it comes to your content marketing.